Hello, we're back after a nice hiatus for after Valentine's Day. We needed some time off to rehydrate. This is good.
What's up, guys? Yeah, not much. How's things going with you?
Doing good, man. Enjoying this nice cold weather. Hey, you know something? That freaking groundhog was not wrong. He did
What, 6 more weeks of winters?
yeah, winter's not over, bitches.
That's right.
Let me take his word for it. Yeah, man. But since we haven't talked a lot lately about MMA, just going to talk about cover some news in the MMA world. And one of them was we were talking about earlier, right before this. It's about GFL and how their format is different. That they have different, they have like the way they get paid is different. They get paid like I think like 50% they get paid, and then the rest are for the retirement of the fighters.
Right. Yeah. I remember you explaining that one, I think a while back, actually.
Hmm.
That is the wrong GFL. Green Life Today. Green. No, not the right one.
And the
There we
Global
go.
Fight League.
Oh my gosh. No.
Yeah, like I think they put money back for the fighters. So the mission, the Global Fight League, is a necessary evolution for the future generation of MMA. Our mission is to build a world-class athlete-first league rooted in integrity, collaboration, and shared passion for mixed martial arts, share revenues with our athletes, and delivering unparalleled excitement for two fans. The first history combat sports, the GFL implemented true team-based league model in MMA. GFL athletes become true equitable partners with 50% of all events revenue sources going directly to them. In addition, GFL is contributing 8% of the each athlete's purse into a retirement fund and 2% contribution going towards insurance. So like 10% of that is going towards insurance and retirement.
That,
And
that's pretty cool. I mean, yeah, I'm curious how that works. Like, do they invest it for you?
I was also wondering too, as far as like retirement, because I wonder if they do like a lot of, because how they gonna get them, how it's feasible, because the UFC themselves, they only have like 10% of the what they make, it
Yeah.
go towards the fighters.
Right.
Because they have
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure a lot goes towards that.
venue, take consideration, flights, booking for the fighters, the hotels. Some of them don't have hotels. They have some of them have Airbnbs where they're staying like house for the week. So all that goes into consideration.
Yeah, that is crazy to think. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. UFC does get a reputation for treating their champions well and the rest of the people not so good. But
Yeah, they still do have a. I don't know if they still do have pay per view points. Like for a champion, you get something like for pay per view points you get paid for how many pay per view buys.
that used to be the thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
they used to have it before ESPN.
That's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder how that changed.
Yeah, because remember back in the day, used to have like you had to buy through the like for example, you have Spectrum, you had to go to Spectrum, their channel, they had to buy the pay per views that way. So of those sales, they used to like get a revenue from them. But now this ESPN, I don't know how they'll spread it that way.
True. Yeah. I would imagine because you still have to buy the pay-per-view. Is there like a ESPN like gold or something that makes it so you don't have to buy pay-per-views or
You still have to buy pay per view, but
okay.
it's not like because it comes exclusively from ESPN. Back then, you used to like Spectrum, you have DirecTV, they had different cable, all
Mm,
this. You had to like reach more people. But if you don't have the app, if you don't have like the like,
valid.
you have to like you don't really like you're like only stuck with ESPN
Right.
viewers.
Hmm. Yeah, I wonder if that did like lower. I wouldn't think it would. If they signed off on that, I wouldn't think that would have hurt their, you know, numbers.
Mm. It won't hurt the numbers, but look at the fighters themselves. They don't get paid for that.
True.
That's where like the pay
That's
per view buys,
yeah.
points, things like that. Remember GSP was for that. Brock Lesnar was known for that. Conor McGregor as well.
Mhm.
Was getting pay per view points for that.
Yeah, that's an interesting point.
Especially
And
in the
that's
main event.
yeah, right. I mean, yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the 50% of the event revenue, that's crazy. They
Yeah.
must be
Only way I can think of they're able to pull that off is if they have I don't know if you know of what's the name of the karate league? The ambassador is that?
that's karate combat.
Yeah. They do like live betting in like
Right.
so I wonder if they have like a partner with a betting company in which they can make money that way because you can have your money from pay per view, you get money from betting lines
Mm.
and split it that way because that's considered a sponsor as well.
Okay.
That's the only way I can think of. They were to make
Yeah. I could I could definitely see that.
how feasible is that?
Yeah, I don't know. I heard karate combat was founded by guys that had nothing to do with fighting. They just wanted something. They essentially wanted like something that they could make money off of, and like they came up with that and came up with a pretty unique system for it that apparently works really well, according to Boss. Which I don't remember the specific details about it, but the way they have it set up, the way they're investing and paying their guys, I think is a pretty efficient system. It's a pretty modern system.
It's based off that. At the betting, they get a percentage of those betting, like live bettings.
Yeah.
They get paid of that too.
Okay, that's cool. That's
And then it
cool.
has like a, betting lines, live betting lines. They have that during the matches. So it shows in
Mm.
there like, oh, this guy like, for example, this guy's winning this many rounds. Like this is a chance. So like it shows like real live betting lines
Dang.
during the
Okay.
match.
Yeah.
It might be like remember Street Fighter when they used to play the video game, the boy.
Yeah. That's funny. I mean, yeah. That's I wonder, that is an interesting way to do it. Is that how like boxing is pays so well? Uh is it like cuz I don't know. I like personally I don't know anybody that watches boxing religiously. You know what I mean? And yet those guys get paid way more than guys in the UFC. Do you think it's because of betting or
I'm not sure how they get paid in boxing. Because some guys will never. It's like whenever they're like don't have that many fights, they'll get paid much. It's kind of like an
mm,
amateur. Once you go or like they get paid. Like for example, the outliers like Mayweather, he gets paid a lot. Like he gets paid for like the concession of the event, concessions. How many people pay per view wise? How many people? Not just the night off, but after that, how many people watches that fight afterwards? Gets a percentage of that.
okay.
But I'm not sure on like how they break it down.
Yeah. I don't know. That has been something I've been pretty curious about because like I genuinely don't know anybody that watches boxing religiously, but they do tend to I think they make more money than UFC pretty consistently.
And they also have to take into consideration they only have one coach for boxing. MMA fighters, how many people they have to pay for their wrestling, their jiu-jitsu, their striking, their gym.
That's valid. That's yeah. Hey, that would make a big difference as well.
Yeah. But in boxing, if you have like good gym coach, they be able to build you up and they'll be able to like someone early like you have a good manager, you have the same manager, somebody that's really good, they'll be able to just work your way up.
Yeah,
But
50%.
yeah, this is the thing about there has always been like the Oscar de la Hoya and Jake Paul's also been like giving shit to Dana White about like, well, you don't pay your fighters well. This is when this organization came in. But also, how feasible is it really like the people that there are here is a lot of like older fighters too.
Yeah.
In consideration, in the way they have the format is like 4 continents, 4 nations, 6 teams in there.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the London, and I think this is going to be the fight. Both Alexander Gustafsson versus Latifi. They used to be teammates back in the day.
Oh, okay.
Benson Henderson versus Team Wow. I know he's fighting in London.
That is interesting.
I'm not sure who the other ones are. Cameron Ellis for London.
That is
So I wonder
kind
if
of
they have.
the.
So if you win this one in London, you make it next to the next round. Who do you go against? Abu Dhabi
Is that
in Dubai. So these are the coaches.
interesting? Huh.
And then you have the other one, Cain Velasquez and Javier Mendez,
Yep.
aka. Hey, I can see what they're in Dubai. They're in there. Islam Makhachev, Habib Nurmagomedov, they're in Dubai. So you have Sad Duffy. He's a old school. Oh, Luke Rockhold versus Derek Bronson.
Okay.
He's got a nose surgery. Luke Rockhold.
No.
Yeah. The entire Willie versus Nurmagomedov. Another Nurmagomedov.
Yep.
A lot of Russians
Yeah, that makes sense.
in Dubai.
So, okay, so they're saying that's the team roster. What do they mean by that? Do you know?
I wonder if I think they have like each teams and they fight each other. So they have like a starter and a backup, or they have like two in each weight, and they like fight other
Okay.
teams. Remember IFL used to have teams back in the day? The National Fighting League. It
Okay.
was
Oh,
like
I honestly don't.
it used to be like in teams. So they have like different like 55, 70, 85, like heavyweight. They used to fight in the ring.
Mhm.
I wonder the same thing. It looks like a team format now that you talk about it.
Yeah.
Because you remember in the Miami one, Thiago Alves and Conan, that's AT&T, I mean ATT, American Top Team,
Okay.
the gym. Junior Dos Santos, Thiago Santos, Yo Romero, Hector Lombard, Anthony Pettis, Jeremy Stevens, Charles Moraes. I remember Marlon Moraes.
Honestly, I don't.
He, for some reason, he was the champion at 135.
Really?
He was champion 135. And I think he lost to Cejudo. Cejudo took the title for him, 135. That's what became Triple C, beating Marlon Moraes.
Hmm.
At Cat Zingano. He had OnlyFans corner and the
For
goalie
real?
Benjamin said,
Tell me that wasn't planned.
yeah, I know, right? Marketing. The views.
Yeah.
And then you have Drago over here in Kayla Russia. Does she look like Drago from Ruggy? What? Shit, Gleison Tibao, welterweight. He used to be 155. He's the only guy that said that he beat Khabib Nurmagomedov.
Really?
Yeah, 155. He was. Let me show you a picture of him. I don't know how he made 155. He's huge. This in the day weigh-in,
Mm-hmm.
like doing the fights, like dude, he look, he's right there. Fight night, look at him.
My God.
How did he make 155? This him with Michael Johnson. Look at the difference, Michael Johnson and him. 155.
It's like he's, I don't know. It's like he layered on more muscle than I'd have.
Yeah.
Doesn't even, yeah, it doesn't look remotely the same.
He's full pumping blood.
Yeah.
And another guy, where is he? That's here. Well, this is King's MMA probably. Rafael Cordero and Vanderlei Silva, Los Angeles.
Mhm.
Frank Mir, Andrei Arlovsky. You see
Okay.
former heavyweight champions Uriah Hall, Sage Northcutt, and Kukui. He got signed by them.
Really? That's
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Who photoshopped his picture? Your favorite. He looked like what you call a video game character.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
And then
Look,
Shaman, this teammate, Famil Aspenlad.
I can see
Leslie
your
Smith. Oh, man.
revolvers.
You remember Leslie Smith when she was fighting, her ear almost came off?
I feel like if I saw I think I remember pictures vaguely.
Her freaking, was it Chris Cyborg? She was fighting, her cauliflower ears exploded.
Gee. The blurred
Listen,
images everywhere.
yeah, look at that thing.
Oh, split that.
Mhm.
Just
Look at that
pop.
thing.
Yeah.
He was falling off her freaking head. She had to keep fighting. Like, no, I can drain it
Dang.
later. No, you don't understand. Your ear's about to fall off. But yeah, that was terrible. Like,
Wow.
who was it against? Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Who was she fighting against? I just seen to see who she fighting. If I'm not mistaken, that's the girl that she got cut in the face in UFC Noche. Fight night.
Really?
She got the cut in the forehead.
Yeah. It's Jessica I versus Leslie Smith with ear explosion.
No, it's not her. She looked like
No?
her. It's Jessica. No, it's not her.
That's a great picture
See that
though.
thing? Yeah.
That's
Look at that thing.
crazy.
The ear, cauliflower ear just explode.
There was the explosion. My God.
Yeah. Yeah. It just exploded. I can't remember that. I think
I
it's
hope she
Aldana.
had plenty of adrenaline for that because getting just hit in the cauliflower ear hurts
Yeah.
when it's
Yeah.
blown up. But I cannot imagine it bursting.
Yeah.
Oh,
Exploding like, and it's falling off your ear too. Like falling on your head. That's what it feels like.
oh.
Yes.
I feel like your my favorite could still do good in a fight. Some of
I
these
wonder for the
guys I do
team.
question. Like Tony Ferguson, it was sad seeing him fight the
Yeah.
last few. But Uriah Faber, I think, could do good. Sage, I don't know how to feel about that. I don't know how he'll do.
How old is
I
he? He's not that old.
feel like he's still pretty young, yeah.
I think he's
I don't know how his last
30s,
fights were.
28 years old.
Yeah, I thought he was pretty young. Wow, yeah, the year before I was born.
He, he, what do you think was that? Was like they feed him to the wolf too early?
Well, that's what I've heard, and I mean, I'm out to believe it. It seemed like he had a lot of potential in the beginning, but then just kind of felt like he disappeared. Um, but yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense to me. I've heard a lot of people say it, and I, tend to believe that.
Do you think he like, because he looks like his dad was, most people that they train his kid like from early, like to be that, because I think they were like was it Taekwondo or something like that?
Mm-hmm.
And they like just build him too early because I mean, when he went against Cosmo just kill him.
Mm, yeah,
That's why he broke his orbital bone.
that's right. Yes. Yeah.
In one FC.
I mean, yeah. It's hard to say. Like, I don't know how that works because I know he went out, got his orbital bone broken, but I don't know if experience would, help with that or not. You know what I mean?
Because, well, another guy that I can think of that happened was Roy McDonald. in the UFC. He was in well, he fought Robbie Lawler the second time. He was winning the fight and going into the fourth round, I think. That's where he got dropped. Like Robbie was hitting so hard that he like his nose was already broken.
Right.
So whenever he broke his nose so much, like the power here of his orbital is like detached. So whenever he hit him that one time, he said he only saw white because he pushed into his nerve or his vision. That's why he dropped, because he didn't like drop like from there. He got hit.
Yeah.
It was a delayed drop, and he just dropped and covered his face because he couldn't see anything.
Oh, that I can't even begin to imagine that. I mean, I feel like at that point, I don't know how much he was feeling. I'm sure that hurt a lot, but I feel like just the fear of not being able to see all of a sudden would be enough for me to
you
be like,
win
okay,
the
I'm
fight
done.
too.
Yeah. That's, oh my gosh, that's crazy.
His face
That's crazy
was
to hit
just
somebody. Yeah. Oh, they were both pulverized. No.
his face was like mango
Yeah.
after that one, because I remember I think it was in round 2 or 3. They're supposed to go to the corner, and Joe McCarthy was telling like, go to your corner, go to your corner. But look at his face.
Yeah.
And then look at Robbie Lawler's mouth. His mouth right here was split.
Yeah. I remember that vividly. Can you imagine? I'm curious, like, what the force was on that. To be able to do that to somebody's face with a glove on. Like, I know they're not thick, but still, it's padded somewhat.
Yeah. Well, it makes think. But the thing, for some reason, I think the padding is to protect more your hand than protect the face of the guy that you're hitting.
Yeah.
Because this will slow down the punch.
Right.
You still hit with the ball. His face just leaking blood.
Mm-hmm.
And this is this is right here. Look at his nose, his eyes.
Yes.
And then after that, he fought Wonder Boy Thompson, and then he was done with the UFC because he took like almost a year off, which you had to. That kind of surgery.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure that does not heal fast.
You can lose your vision on there.
Really? By breaking those bones in there?
Yeah, because you have to remember that the way your eyes sit, there's a floor of the orbital bones. If you break them, it can damage the nerve of your vision, and then you go blind.
Yeah.
And the way I heard, it wasn't a doctor who was playing, it was the Undertaker was talking about him when he was wrestling. He was wrestling somebody, and somebody broke his orbital bone. He almost like fractured like the floor of his eye. And he had to wear like, back then he had to wrestle so many times that he had to wear the mask to protect his orbital bone and like from breaking again. Yeah, in MMA you can wear that.
Right. Dang, that's crazy. That's consequences you don't really think about, you know? I don't know. I feel like when I think of, fighting and getting punched and all that, I don't really think about losing vision from getting punched, but definitely messes with it.
I can think of a kick, yes, but a punch,
right?
Hardly have to hit.
Yeah.
But after that, he went to Bellator.
Yeah.
He changed his name. I think it's the Red King or something like that. Because his nickname was Aries or something like that when he was in the UFC. And speaking of, he also had kind of the same incident like you with a walkout song. When he was in the UFC, and he had changed his phone number. And usually the person that at the time, I think it was like Joseph or something like that, the matchmaker, he like text like, hey man, what song do you want for your walkout song? And he hadn't heard like before his fight like from him like what song he wanted. So they texted that and somebody else, and somebody picked the song from him. So he was walking out to some weird song that he hadn't even picked for his fight. He was in the UFC.
That's funny. Yeah, that's definitely way worse than what I had to go through. But that's
Because a lot of people watch it.
yeah, right, exactly. It's just so many people and a lot bigger moment, honestly.
Yeah, imagine you go to like a pay-per-view match or you go to the main event of I'm fighting and you someone pick yourself for you just to mess with you. Yeah. Another guy that's coming from Bellator, this guy Lawrence Larkin.
Yep.
I can't remember what he has some wins. Bellator, I think he was in the UFC for some time too. Unless I'm mistaken with somebody else. In Bellator, in UFC.
Hey, looks like he did pretty well.
Mm-hmm. He lost to Paul Daly, Douglas Lima. Lost to Douglas Lima for the welterweight title. Beat Neil Magny. Lost to Derek Bronson. But he's like a 70, 185, like a bouncer. Like he will go back up and down. Chris Camozzi beat Robbie Lawler.
Wow.
What is this? Wow. He fought Mo. Strike Force.
King Mo.
Mm-hmm. And he's like it's 205, right?
I don't know.
So this thing is 205. Yeah, 205. Damn, that's a big difference. 170, 185, and 205. Lawrence Larkin. But yeah, like some good fights, like as far as like wins.
Yeah, I would say record's pretty good. Some solid wins.
Mm-hmm. That's the LA team. Sao Paulo. I think that's what what's his name. Your boy is Paul Harris.
Okay.
How Brazilian of them? The pictures that there's a lot of. There you go. So it's gonna be the Dragon.
Okay. Huh.
Does he coach? Andre
That's funny that he's got a UFC shirt on for this.
Yeah. I can't remember who he coached. He coached somebody famous. Can't remember. Fabricio Verdum, going that Douglas Lima, Bellator champion. He was in the UFC as well. Tricky Pitbull, Random Barao. You remember him?
Mm-mm.
He had
Not
like
at all.
at one point he was like the for some reason I want to say he was the pound for pound when he lost to TJ Dillashaw for the 135 title. Him and Jose Aldo were like close together, but I think he was undefeated and Jose Aldo only had one loss in his record during that time. But after TJ Dillashaw beat him, he wasn't the same after that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Happens a lot, it seems like. That guy looks really familiar. Raphael.
yeah, he used to fight at the UFC. Azuzal.
Ah, okay.
He used to fight at the UFC. 42 years old. Beat TJ Dillashaw, a split decision. And then he had a string of losses. Lost to Marlon Moraes. Again.
Sandhagen, Cody
Mm.
Garbrandt. Okay, yeah.
He got knocked out. I remember that one.
Really?
That fight. The team that they have here. New York. This is going to be Europe, Middle East, South America, and the US. Boy, Real Longo. He'll be the coach.
Hmm.
For some reason, I want to say Chris Wyman is going to be the other the manager.
Okay.
You remember Alan Belcher. Jesus Christ. He used to fight 185. He's a heavyweight.
Hey.
He's juiced to the gills. Look at him.
Yeah, no kidding. Wow. Yep.
He's a heavyweight. Now, this is him when he was in the UFC. He's known for his shitty Johnny Cash tattoo.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
That's him before then. He looks like a bigger version of Ryan Hall.
Yeah, maybe.
He
Yeah, I'm
got
definitely
hair.
a lot thicker version. Yeah. Huh. I wonder if they're testing in GFL.
Yes, they are. Always improve.
Get some life out of these guys.
Never mind. Chris Wyman is here as middleweight.
Okay.
I thought he was retiring.
Well, he needs more retirement money, you know?
Yeah. And Dylan Dennis, undisputed. Holly Holm.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. She getting no recognition, nothing like that for like retirement.
That's crazy to me.
Same thing for Androlowski. Androlowski was in the UFC for forever. And he get no like recognition for being there.
It's
in the
very
organization.
strange. It's very strange.
Yeah.
I mean, Holly Holm, she was a solid fighter. I feel like, at least to me, her biggest thing was, the upset with Ronda Rousey.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, she's a solid fighter. Definitely, definitely.
She was always game. The one that I hated was once again Jermaine Durandame. I hated when she fought her because Jermaine Durandame was fighting dirty. She like a couple of times she got like a hit after the bell.
Hmm.
I talk about like she rocked her
Really?
because she was like on guard and she just went boom, rock her. Like how you supposed to recover between rounds after you got rocked?
Right. Yeah, that's a game changer. That's
Mm-hmm. And then this one, speaking of getting rocked, Kevin Lee. Do you see the video that was going around when he was sparring in the gym and he was just dicking around? He went left for like a flying knee and his partner just went right hook, head off. Boom, just drop him in
I
class.
don't think I did.
See if I can find it.
So Kevin Lee got dropped?
Yeah, he got dropped in practice.
Hmm.
But he's like terrible. Like terrible. Like that's a terrible shitty partner if you do something like that.
For real. Yeah, that's no lie.
But you also don't throw knees during sparring either.
Hey.
You get cut. But also the guy was wearing headgear.
Hmm.
Do you see it? So here.
I don't see it right
Boom.
now.
He got
I
dropped.
can't see your screen at the moment, but
Hold on. I'll get the other one. Let me change it. My bad. Sorry. Bear with me. Technology.
no worries.
There you go. Can you see now?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the guy. Boom, boom,
I mean, I don't know. I can see that a little bit more in that case.
boom. Hands down, face up.
I don't know. He left himself wide open, and it doesn't look like the guy necessarily nailed him. You know what I mean? It may have just hit the sweet spot.
Yeah. And Robbie Lawler he's a cool guy. I mean, he's a nice guy. Robbie
Yeah.
Lawler, hey, come down, like, just walk it off.
Yeah.
Because this is his gym.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I can see a little bit more where his partner's coming from. You're coming at me with knees like that, take the open shot.
Yeah. Because you can cut somebody, they'll be out of a fight.
Right, yeah.
It has something scheduled.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was brutal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I'd feel kind of bad afterwards, for sure, but
Yeah.
dang.
But the guy just walked it off. The other guy was walking it off.
Yeah.
So the reason I want to say Chris Wyman retired, but apparently he didn't. He did a post about it, but maybe fake news. January 17. Yeah, he now is former heavyweight, retired from MMA. And he was that like the weigh? You know what the weigh-in shows? They hanging the gloves. But now you see him here though.
Yeah. I mean, really, this is probably the league where, guys who need some extra cash or just have a little bit of an itch and kind of need cash, they probably come in
Mm-hmm.
here.
So retirement money.
Yeah.
Jimmy Rivera. Do you remember him?
Sounds very familiar.
His name
I
sounds
don't.
familiar too. See who he fought. I can remember.
35 years. 135. I don't know many 135ers.
Peter Munoz, Peter Yan, Aljamain Sterling, John Dodson, Almeida. I mean, this was 2021. That's his last fight. That's a long way off.
That is. That is. It's got a break.
Mm-hmm. That's much Dylan Dennis, man. This guy, man.
Dylan Dennis.
Why is he so easy to hate? Because he's cringe. Because he was somebody, who was it? I think he was taking shots at Van Sant or something like that at one point.
Who?
Paige Van Sant. Because I think
Oh,
she's
really?
supposed to fight her husband.
Oh, okay. I mean, that doesn't. Yeah.
Low ball.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like he's just overly cocky, you know? I feel
I
like
think he
that's
says
really
whooped
easy.
by a bouncer in New York.
Did he?
Yeah, I think because I think what's the thing? The Blast was trying offering a free month for the bouncer for kicking. But then they said,
That's
"Oh,
damn.
how do people that are like that they make it that far into jiu-jitsu?" Because I was reading an article about that about like in your gym, don't worry more about substance instead of somebody being gifted, like being like really good, being good athlete and being taken into consideration. Like for example, he's a Marcelo Garcia black belt, but his personality is terrible. To the point, I mean, Marcelo Garcia kicks him out of the gym. And Marcelo is the nicest person. You won't kick
Right.
just any random person. So what do you think like that is? How do people that are like a terrible personality like that, they make it that far into like jiu-jitsu is supposed to be like something that's supposed to be humbling you along the process?
Mm. I mean, do you think he, I don't know, maybe he was like very gifted? I feel like that would be something that could lead to, you being cocky. But I mean, there's definitely people that do make it a long ways and still stay cocky. Either they get humbled for a time and then become good and then they fall right back into being their cocky selves, or, you know, I don't know, stuff like that. I mean, because if you're humble at one point, it doesn't mean you stay that way.
Yeah, because like for example, I think of like because what's the difference between being cocky and stepping over the line?
Mm.
Because that's the difference. If you have a fight, yeah, you can call me whatever you want to, but if you go after my family and things like that, like, hey, come on, man.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
They start making fun of your kids online. They start posting your kids' pictures, stuff like that. Like, where do you
Yeah.
draw the line?
Where to draw the line? I mean,
Yeah,
certainly before that. Oh my
yeah,
gosh. You're ready to kill somebody at that point.
yeah. All right, man. Now I have to kill you.
Yep. If it's just me, whatever.
Yeah,
That's not the end of the world.
yeah. Because
But
like, I don't care. Like, if, whatever you say, like, I don't care about. Like, if you like posting stuff about me is fine. I can take it. But like, you kids, because your kids don't have a way to develop themselves, especially social media. If somebody's famous, for example, somebody famous make fun of somebody else's kid, a lot of people is going to see that picture and make fun of it. And then the kids that go to school with the kids is going to make fun of him. So you have
yeah.
to pick on.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's kind of the thing too, is like, yeah, that's, you know, somebody makes fun of your kid, like you are the defense for your kid, you know. Your kid can't defend themselves. That's kind of
Mhm.
the point. They're growing up. They're learning that. So yeah, for somebody to come after your kid, like that is your job to protect them. So like, yeah, that's definitely crossing the line.
Yeah. Speaking of, have you seen the video with DC? whenever like somebody's kid, like his kid was in the playground, and this other kid was trying to bully his son.
Yeah.
I told him, hey man, so you watch your kid before I kick your ass. He's still trying to kick the ass of the dad of the kid that's bullying his son. I was like, oh god, like, you
You
can't do
tell
that.
your kid, stop pushing my kid on the ground, or I'm going to push you on the ground.
And I was like, what the fuck, man? I'm just
And
trying
they
to eat over
laugh.
here in my plate.
That's so funny. Because the thing is, if you didn't watch UFC, I would never pick DC out for a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
But that's one guy, oh my gosh, you would not want to mess with.
Yeah. You seem like in the golf course because now he's into golfing now.
Yeah,
He's in the golf course. Like, oh, this is like an old, like retired person trying to
right.
learn to golf and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Oof. You're getting hit by a cannonball of a human being.
Oh yeah. He'll wreck you too. Because he'll lift you and drop you through the world.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that'd be a crater at the bottom of that one.
Yeah. Just put dirt on top of it, just bury you at that point. Though now like if for what if they make fun of your spouse? What about that? Where do you draw the line there?
I mean, I feel like I'd have serious problems with that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. You're matched up against somebody. Yeah, I don't know. I just like coming after loved ones. Like that's not. I don't know. That's not who you're fighting.
Yeah.
And if that's who you want to fight, you know.
You said not to find me. How about let's keep it between
Exactly.
us?
Yeah.
What's next? You gonna make fun of the referee?
Yeah. Yeah. Like I don't know.
Well, I don't get it. Speaking of spouses, there's some people like the reason I don't know about you, but the reason like I studied jiu-jitsu was for self-defense. And I talk about like that some people don't roll with bigger people because oh you're too big and stuff like that. It's like if you were to get into a fight with somebody on the streets, like somebody's trying like to push your wife or push your kids, do you ask them how much they weigh? It's like, oh no, you're too heavy for me. I don't know.
But yeah. You can push my wife.
Yeah.
That's fine.
No. What do you do then?
Absolutely not. Huh?
Like are you supposed to like how are you supposed to do that? And then you if you never roll with somebody that's bigger than you.
That's valid. Yeah. No, 100%. I don't know. To me, it's kind of fun because the strategy changes dramatically. I have to use different tools that I don't normally try to use, and it's adds to the strategy. So
Yeah. If your game is good, you should be able to do it with anybody.
right. Yeah, that's the truth.
What's the name? Faraz Sahabi talks about universal jiu-jitsu.
Mhm.
Your jiu-jitsu is good, you should be good in gi. It applies also to no gi as well. Different grips, but also you should be able to still be able to do well in both.
I mean, yeah, I feel like to a point though, because there's things like in the gi, like lapel chokes. Those are so effective. But I mean,
Mm-hmm.
obviously, you're not going to get those in the no gi.
But talking about like as far as like guards and things like that, like be able to like transitions
Okay.
and get to your submission, you should be able to have a decent game to be able to apply to both of them.
Yeah.
For example, your guard is good in the gi, but then when you no gi, your guard is trash.
That's valid. Yeah. Clearly, there's some key concepts that you're missing in that one.
Yeah.
In that case, I would think.
You have to use universal. I mean, same thing with like weight classes or different bodies because different bodies it's a challenge itself too.
Right. I mean, that's why Marcelo Garcia doesn't like kimuras. He thinks those are a big man's game.
Mm-hmm.
He like chokes
Yeah, he's pretty damn good at them.
unbelievably good. Yeah.
They named a guillotine after him. The Marcelo thing.
Wait.
You play around with? Do you play around with guillotines?
Not as much as I should. I know they're very effective, but no, I don't play around with them a ton, to be honest.
I used to be better at them, but my right wrist is shit recently.
Okay.
Anytime I try to sink a guillotine, my wrist just start hurting like it's going to explode. On the inside, it's like
Yeah.
so you switch to the darts.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, guillotines are one of those ones that are always there. I feel like I have a really hard time really locking it in and sinking it deep.
Do you do arming or not arming?
Typically no arm in. I've never mastered the arm in, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I've
I
done,
usually go for the
I've done,
no arm, but get
yeah,
perpendicular to make it tighter.
yeah, yeah. I was watching Silver Fox teach doing that. Like if somebody dives in for a single, he just, yeah, he goes complete perpendicular.
And then you can get an easy sweep from there if you don't lose it.
Yeah, yeah.
You see the underhook.
To the
Whenever
underhook?
usually they defend, they go back to the mat when the guillotine, no arm. You can just go underhook and just sweep from there.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're good. I just don't feel, I don't know. I don't get to the position for that very often. I occasionally get to front headlock, but usually in that case, I'm going for like a Doris or an Anaconda or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not super tied in with the game that I currently go for, I guess.
Can you go for arm attack of the guillotine?
Attack off the guillotine. Feel like that would be hard to do.
Because some people they frame off like you, they
Yeah.
use like straight arm from there.
Hmm.
But most of the
Yeah,
time
I
they're fighting
suppose.
the hands though.
Right. Yeah, I feel like that's usually what happens is you're fighting the hands in there and
And most of the time you under them.
right. Right.
Can you get crucifix from there?
I feel like you could do that. Yeah, pretty confidently you could.
Mm. Then they go for the back to there from there.
Right. That's true.
But most of the time their hands are here.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if you hooked that, probably start by hooking the close arm with the legs, and then easily jump onto the other one. Yeah. Also, a crucifix is not one that I usually go for. I mean, I've got it before, but I'm not good at switching out of that into other submissions.
How about kimura?
Kimura? Like, do I go for that? Yeah, I go for Kimuras a lot.
Because I usually do that. So kimura, like back roll, like you usually roll from the bottom, roll to their back, or go to the crucifix from there. They're interchangeable.
So you go from the Kimura to the Crucifix,
You
or
can go there, or you can go to the back.
hmm, I could, yeah, okay, I could see that. I've never really thought about going to the Crucifix from the Kimura, but no, I mean, I can see how you could.
Then because the tikimura, is you
Right.
go. That's usually the way they have it starting a lot of times.
I don't know. I love the Kimura grip. I tend to pursue it pretty hard. If I get that grip, I'm pursuing Kimura or Armbar usually. Usually, I
Mm-hmm.
just attacking that side pretty hard. So I have gone to the back from there, though. Definitely.
Recently, I've started getting better at one arm kimura. So the arm that usually goes around the back, I catch the wrist and just force it.
Yep.
And the other hand is just to keep balance because my wrist is shit on the like I said, my right hand. So I use my right hand and torque it just straight and get in there or step over the hand,
Dang.
cross
Yeah.
body.
Dang. I mean, yeah. I guess you get a nice close grip with that hand, and they're really not going to grab anything with it.
Yeah, usually if I'm able to bring the hand, I'm able to grab with this wrist that's behind the tricep. It's hard for them to bring it across. Because in
Right.
order for it to bring it across, you have to bring the hand. But if I'm able to bring it high enough, the torque is right there.
Huh.
Because my forearm
Okay.
is not that long, anyways.
Right.
So if I'm able to lock it with this other hand, it's gonna be just get it's a matter of time before putting it behind their back. Because high enough, they have it up here, which you ideally want to get too, because you want to get that, especially if you're on the top, you want to bring that elbow to your chest. But you're able to grab with the other hand, it's right there.
Now it makes sense. Yeah. I don't know. There's that. Yeah. The grips of Kimuras, the threat of, there's so many things you can do with it. Yeah, I've started going for that a lot. A lot. Both on bottom and on top, really.
I usually used to be scared of going with bigger guys doing the kimura, was fighting a lot. Bigger guy arms, and getting my arms around them too, around the arms.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean, yeah, I've had that problem less recently because the biggest problem that I usually have with bigger guys is like breaking the grip with the arm. There's something Matt Leonard taught, and actually there's a brown belt at the new gym that I'm going to that teaches the same thing. It's like when you're going for arm bars, you really try to pull the arm like you're trying to take it out of socket, and honestly, that works super well for both kimuras and for arm bars, even with bigger guys. Is like if you really get that little bit of extension, they lose a lot of the strength. Um, and the guy that was he teaches on Sunday mornings, and he works in the medical field, so he's kind of explaining like how it's your shoulder has a whole bunch of very big muscle groups holding it in place. And so by you pulling it out a little bit, you're kind of taking all those muscle groups out of their range of motion, out of the regular range of motion, so that they don't operate as strongly. It's like going
Also,
to
it's
like,
like in the system.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, and to be honest, that sort of tip on, you know, just pulling a little extra on the shoulder really equalizes it a little bit. Um, I mean, there's still guys that are gonna be able to, curl me and not let me
Yeah.
have their shoulder, but it definitely makes a big difference.
Um. Sometimes I had to switch the grip of the Kimura. Instead of going around the back, I go through the tricep. I mean, through the bicep, especially from bottom. If I feel I can get the arm out, I swing the other way and do like a
Yeah.
figure four on my arm.
Yeah.
So whenever I pull it out with the other arm, you have to grab. I just grab the wrist with the back hand and just torque it from there. Because that like literally just brings the elbow closer to you, which is what you want to get the. Because a lot of people, whenever they do the kimura, they're pushing the wrist away instead of bringing the elbow towards
Right.
you.
Right. Yep. Yeah, that's a huge difference. That little bit of slack that you take up there is, yeah.
Mika Gabao, he has a attack from there that way, but he does from guard, in which instead of going the regular kimura grip, he goes opposite wrist, grabs it, and he pulls in the elbow in with a near arm to his chest, and then from there he just climbs over the head from there. So he gets like he step over the head and lasso with the far leg
Mhm.
to get the armbar in. And from there he just has he has once you lasso the arm that leg from the opposite side to this side, you just have like armbar right there. You just have to just elevate a little bit your hips and just pull the arm out because they have a choice: either defend the kimura or defend the armbar.
I'm trying to picture what you're saying. I feel
You know,
like,
you do the shoulder crunch from the guard. Instead of doing the shoulder crunch, he does an elbow crunch.
okay,
From there, he's able to shrimp a little. And once he shrimp, the top leg that's usually on the opposite side, he lassos behind the shoulder.
okay,
And from there, he just has to elevate his hips a little bit, get a little bit of slack, or just kick the heel, not the heel, but the wrist out of there. Usually when you defend it right here, once you kick it out of there from the lasso leg, it's a matter of time. You have to choose before the kimura or armbar.
interesting.
Because the legs are pinning already the shoulder. Anyways, I can't remember who was showing it. See a video recently, but he does that. I've seen that he did that during the ADCC.
Those are definitely rough situations. I feel like there's definitely a different type of feeling, when somebody who really knows what they're doing is grabbing your arm like that and is, shoulder crunched. I feel like you feel almost like doomed, like, oh, now I'm
Yeah,
gonna have to really work, or this is really bad, and
yeah,
it's
because it's
just
hard
it's
to like
so
to
hard to recover.
yeah, because you're just using your energy trying to like get your posture back again. They're already
Right,
controlling your posture.
right.
But here, this is so he has right here instead of shoulder crunch, he gets elbow crunch right there.
Hmm.
You either do for side control or you can do it from guard. lasso over, and from there,
Okay, yeah.
aim over. And you're also like internally rotating the shoulder once you like do the elbow crunch.
Yeah, that is powerful. And it's pretty easy to get to for the attacker as well.
Yeah. Especially for side control, it's like we usually consider a handicap position because you lose your guard. But I think he has a C guard here. He has
Yeah.
a C guard.
Yeah.
I have guard. So yeah, that the Shoei bar is another one too.
Yeah. Yeah, the Troy bar is another one of those ones that's like very controlling, and as soon as you get in it, you know you messed up.
Mm-hmm. There's no pulling.
Exactly. Yeah, you pull, you make it worse.
You punch your arm through.
Yep. Usually try to get my legs free, punch the arm through, and try to rotate around.
I'm really trying to bring my elbow to the mat from that Shoei bar. If I'm able to bring the elbow to the mat, punch it through, I'm decently okay.
Okay.
But also, if I do that, I'm also getting swept too. That's to take consideration. You have to have a good base, and then from there you just finish the Shoei bar from the top. I used to be evil when it comes to like the Shoei bar, or like the mouse trap. You know the armbar, far side armbar from mouse trap. I used to bring my knee across their face just to finish the armbar, knee or chin to the neck.
Yeah. Now it works. It works. I've done it.
For us,
Good
he
stuff.
has a punch to finish the armbar from mount. Yes, so whenever you're in a usually it starts from the things from here. Well, usually they put their arms in the defender right here. So usually just make an X with your hands, and you just get to your S mount. You get your arm bar, and usually most of the time he can defend by looking at you, but you punch his face across, like with your forearm, like cross face, and punch the mat. So the face looking away from you, you can isolate the arm at the same time. Also, it helps you bring the leg with the hand. Helps bring the leg across the face too, because they're separating the face away from the shoulder.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah. So you're trying to think through that. Are you waiting? So they're keeping their arms close by their chest.
Mm-hmm.
You are keeping their arm? Like how I guess
Usually
I'm
you hook the
missing
arm
it.
like under him. He talks about like making like an X with your hands on the
Yeah.
chest, and from there
Really?
you go to your S mount. If you get to your S mount,
Okay.
and then bring just have to catch one of the wrists up, get some a little bit of wiggle room to clear that space to get to the S mount. So you don't get like what you call swept. But also he talks a lot your weight, the heaviest you should be is on the outside of your thigh. That's the top of the chest. So he's preventing like it should be like it should be like a mason jar, just drilling him into the mat. Go to the S mount. So the heavier you're on that leg, the lighter the other legs are gonna be. That you could try and swing across.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense.
And then
I do remember that being about a lot about the weight distribution, which to be honest, I haven't really got very good at. I've started playing with it again recently. Mount and really just honestly trying to get like mounted triangles just because it's so controlling. Because you can isolate a lot when you get a triangle like that.
you don't have to lock it either. As long as your knee and your ankle is in front of the shoulder or the way you're locking, you're okay. And then you can use your hands to lock it in. I mean, your hands to drive into the triangle, make it even tighter.
Yep. That's the thing. I feel like once I get there, I can just take my time. Like I have so many options and the other person is incredibly uncomfortable. So, I can just take my time.
Do you finish armbar from there?
Yeah. Yep.
Like, don't fall back, but just go across to finish the armbar.
I like to threaten it at least. I mean, I wouldn't say I often finish that one, but I mean I do threaten it regularly and kind of let them decide. Like I've threatened that and gone into, other things like I think I went into a Kimura from there. I think I threatened. I mean, I don't think it's a great place for it, but I threatened an Americana just to
Mm-hmm.
see what they would do. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of why I like doing it is because I can just play around with it for a little bit and see what I can get.
Yeah. Some people like I like to hit that Americana off the bottom when people try to do Americana on me.
Get off the bottom.
Yeah. I
Dang.
like to do that because you should take consideration. My arms are not a lot long. So if my arms are not that long, I don't have that much torque whenever you try to hit a Kimura on me. So if my elbow just comes right up, I have a Kimura on you too. And I was trying to like get a little bit of separation and just roll into it. The Americana. Just shrimp it, shrimp it, shrimp it.
That's brutal.
And, and so I usually shrimp and bridge towards that arm
Yeah.
because they don't have a post on that side. And they're like, oh,
Dang.
shit, because their
Yeah,
weight and my weight is going that way too.
you're humiliating people.
Yeah. Every time they're like, fuck you. Because trying to go for a Kimura, I'm like, dude, or Americana rather. And my
Yeah.
arms are not that long. So like you don't have torque on my shoulder.
Yeah. Dang. That's yep. I mean, I can see it, but
That's what DC was talking about. That he was never submitted in MMA. So like, we take consideration. I don't have no neck.
yeah, that's
I have
true.
no neck. And his arms like they were short too, so like they were able to get anything. That's supposed to be me.
Valid point. Yeah. Yeah. Choking out DC. I don't picture that ever happening.
Because just take consideration the radius of the limb and also the length of the humerus. A lot of it has to be with a lot of submission has to do with that. The length of the humerus when it comes to kimura, armbar, and the Americana. If, for example, armbar, spider guard, I just have to bump a little bit and get my elbow to the mat. It doesn't take as much length or somebody has a longer humerus.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Would you say it's a advantage, disadvantage, or just neutral to be shorter in grappling?
It's advantage on the defense, disadvantage on the offense. Because your body triangle's not there.
True.
My triangles are not there either.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to log it in from the guard. But also framing is different too.
Mhm.
Because you have to get used to like framing with your elbows rather than your arm because your arm is not that long anyway. So like might as well just frame with your elbows.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a
No. That's yeah.
tighter game.
Yeah. Hey. Yeah. There's definitely pros and cons. Yeah, I think you're right. The defense is definitely there because I mean, it's hard to create torque on somebody with stubby limbs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mhm. I feel like in stand up, like for like takedowns and stuff, I feel like the tall people got it. I feel like I don't know.
What do you
Maybe I'm
mean?
wrong. I feel like it's easier for because they can get to you like so a tall person versus a short person. I feel like the tall person can reach the short person for like trips and stuff so much easier. Compared
Game,
to like
but you the trip has to be like yeah you can as far as reaching, but you have like to if you have a strong base, it's hard for it to like get those trips going. Also, what throws is harder on the taller person because usually your hips have to be lower than the person you're throwing. Yeah, for takedown it's hard to get under somebody.
yeah,
If somebody has like a decent base and just snapping down, if they're good like snap down, go behind. For a smaller person, it would be good. Like front headlocks,
mhm.
things like that. If you have like if you're like smaller person and you have a good front headlock, your game.
You gotta keep them on your level.
Yeah. And there's other guys you have to look up. Shout out to the Satif brothers. I think they're like one of the most condecorated brothers are Russian as far as like Worlds and Olympics, but they're like their underhook series is nuts. They're like they'll make the matches look like practices. I think Adam and Babusar, that's their name. So I can send you a link for them, but they're like the underhook series. They have a underhook, far side, knee pick. They have on the near side, they have a way to like they will just elevate you and trip you from there. And they usually for smaller guys, underhooks are like a safer kind of attacks because you're controlling half of the body, you're under them, and you're not in threat of attacks. So to a certain extent, unless you have somebody that's like good flying armbar, and even like that, it's gonna be difficult because you're controlling their torso with your underhook. But yeah, man, the underhook I think is the safer kind of attack for jiu-jitsu I can think of.
I feel like that is, I mean, granted, I don't know that many options, but that is typically one thing I do go for is the underhooks about every time. I do.
It also stops it from getting away from you too.
Yeah, that's true. Get a good feel for where they're at, can keep them in close with you, control their posture, control their torso a little bit. Yeah, definitely is a big difference if you can get a good tight underhook. Deep underhook.
Now, how do you get a good underhook of somebody that has a really good Ushimata?
I don't know.
Try to get the unders, literally get to the side because most of the time they do Ushimatas to the side
Right.
and elevate. But he able to like get double unders. They don't have Ushimata anymore. You have forward body on the hook and trip. But Ushimata, I like fighting in. For some reason, recently I started doing this like cartwheel into the back. So the underhook, as long if my underhook's too low slacking, they be able to have control of my arm. But I be able to swim over the trap, takes away there.
Okay.
And from there, most of the time, I go try and bring the inside leg over to the other hip.
Okay.
If I'm able to get both of my feet on the opposite side of their body, I'm getting the back, straight to the back.
Yeah.
That's what I've been working recently, just going to the back. A lot of people like from there, they like to go Ushimata, stuff like that. Sometimes I just drop to my knee a little bit to bring him down to my knees. And then from there, you just go cross body, go to the back.
Is there any like sequences you're going to specifically once you get to the back?
Most of the time, they just go to side control from there because they just go once they feel like the arm's going back this way, they just go straight to the back. Side control from there. And from there, give wrap, try to get the back again, something like that, or attack the arms from there, north south most of the time. Or head and arm.
Still love the north south. That's a good one. Just makes it so they can't bother you with their feet unless they're super flexible. Even then, you can kind of prevent it.
Yeah. If you can elevate the head, then can you negate the inversion?
If you elevate the head, can you? I've never tried elevating the head. Usually I move up and just pin the hips down, but that's, I don't know though, because I feel like the really flexible guys are usually, they're not even like bending at the chest yet. The really flexible guys, I think they can bend in half and their feet are just like parallel to their, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
When they get their knees up by their head, I don't know how much it really matters anymore.
Mm-hmm. Thinking if I'm able to elevate their head a little bit, I'm able to squish my hips a little bit back, so them going over my shoulders. I feel it. And sometimes most of the time, I put my forehead in their chest and just drive.
Yeah, I've definitely done that.
The version because it also gives you a notion of which way they're going. They have to pick a side.
It's true, yeah. Yeah, no, it's using your head to kind of pin the hips down and walk at least for a little while to tire him out. I think works pretty well usually.
Something shitty I started doing recently is going for the Americana from the north south.
For the American, really?
So usually get over unders on instead of going for the north south in the arm. If they just wrap the arm on my torso, the arm I just try to get the elbow and step across their body. Try to go around. So I just keep the arm. I just pull the elbow in and using my torso and use it as a turn towards them. Use it as the Americana.
Okay. Huh, that's cool. Yeah, because they're exposing it anyway, so you just
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Huh.
And from there, they just turn towards me and they just go back to the north south.
Yeah.
Thank you. And then now recently, somebody recently I was going with, I got a north south, they got a north south. But not north south, but they have a over under, I got an over under. So I have a time to get in that north south choke. So okay, so you're doing that, I'm just going to smother you with my arm. I try to find the spot, just smother because they don't have a frame because their hands are behind my back.
Yeah.
So you just go with the smother.
Some mother's milk right there.
Yeah, it is stepmother's milk to the north south. Well, yeah, like just think just take consideration like there are certain roles like yeah, if their hands are behind your back, they don't have a frame anymore. So you
Oh,
should go for something else. It's hard for you to get your arm out of there to go for the north south. Anyways, yeah,
makes a lot of sense though. Yeah. I don't know. I love the north south choke too because so many people just don't expect it. I don't really know why. I guess it can be one of the harder chokes to finish, so people don't get taught it very often, but it's so good. It's so, like, I don't know. You sink that in, and it's really hard to, you know, to fight it.
I like to secure with the ribs. If you can secure with the ribs, they
Yeah.
have facing no facing, you
Right.
get stuck there.
Yeah. Yeah. I really like it because a lot of times you can get it with just one arm. You can use the other arm to, do whatever you need to, fend off theirs or, whatever. But if you can crawl that hand underneath far enough and just pin everything down and sink it in, it's beautiful.
Game set match. Fox likes to roll the shoulder into the north south.
Interesting.
Not like the
Okay.
bound flu, roll the shoulder in to the choke.
Huh. Okay. Like, you talking like pinch it down or
No,
like
forward.
forward?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to give that a try.
Because once you get off your knees and just shift forward, all your weight on that shoulder. So in
That's an
case you do
interesting way to
slip
think
off
about it.
down, you slip right under the shin. So you come here, you lift forward, and then when you come down.
Interesting. I hadn't thought about it that way. I'll have to give that a try. I will say that, like, even like, I feel like I'm pretty practiced at it. I can usually get it. But there are a few people that I cannot sink it in. You remember Evan? Could not. I tried so many times and could have sworn I had it deep, and he's just fine. Like, I could not figure out what I was doing wrong with him.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's because his neck is too small. I was baffled by that.
For him, I had to go to a rear naked choke
Mhm.
to be able to finish it. To get there.
Like, figure four, or did you
Yeah.
actually go to rear naked instead of
For
north
rear
south?
naked choke. So whenever you have the north side choke, I was able to finish it. So as I turn and get his face facing away, I use the other arm to get a rear naked choke on this side and
Okay.
just finish it from there. So you kind of
Huh.
like get him on his side
Yeah.
for the north south, driving him into the choke
Yeah.
and just finish north like a rear
Interesting.
naked choke for north south.
Yeah. I'll have to try that one too.
It's hard to defend that one too.
Yeah, I'm sure.
By the way, I almost ripped Marco's head one time, and with that with the rear naked choke from north south, because he wouldn't
Yeah.
tap out. I was like, Timmy, I'm about to rip his
Oh, I
head off.
know. Yeah, he was really hard to get because he would always counter because he had his own choke from there. and he would counter me, and then it became a battle of attrition. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, both of us almost put each other out doing that.
Yeah, that's the only way able to negate that was going for north-south
Yep.
naked choke.
Huh. I will have to give that a try. I'm kind of excited.
They're stuck like a flailing like a chicken from there.
That's going to be pretty powerful too. Very, very strong.
Yeah, because your whole body's on top of it.
Mm. That's interesting. I hadn't thought about doing that.
Yeah, because instead of like a lot of people like to get right here, try to finish from there. You already have your ribs on the side of their face. If you're able to get their face, keep an inch away and just swing it in from there. Kind of like an easy kill.
Right. We'll definitely be trying.
Jonathan, you fucked up now. This is not going to be a crank, by the way. It's going to be a show.
Yeah. Yeah, this will work. It'll be quick. Don't worry.
But yeah, man. Yeah. But we go over a lot of techniques today.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
You're welcome for your instructional.
Yeah.
Be
If you have any
selling this one for
pointers or any
$50.
submissions you want us to see or show you,
Yeah.
just let us know. We had
Yeah,
the perfect dummy, Jonathan.
Oh, he's gonna love listening to this episode.
Yeah. She's like, what the fuck, man? I just been in training for 3 days, man. Shout out to Jonathan.
Yep.
But yeah, but thank you for listening again. You did good?
Yeah.
Today?
I think so. Covered quite a bit.
Yeah. Well, thank you for listening again. You can listen to us on Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, iTunes, both. Thank you for listening to us, Nate, and myself.
Thank you, guys.